in Antarctica. And we arrived last night. We went towards Stallman Bay. We didn't yet visit South Shetland, the Bransfield Strait Peninsula. Instead, we went right down towards the Gerlache Straits. And it was here, we came last night across the Gerlache Strait, and we visited the Arara Channel this morning. Our first destination was Danko Island, and I think you begin to recognize things now a little bit. Okay, the ship stayed idling out here. The ship did not drop anchor. Do you know why the ship did not drop anchor? Well, it's very deep in the Arara Channel, and also captains get very upset if an iceberg comes and sits on the anchor. That's not good at all. So the captain kept maneuvering the ship. The icebergs that you saw seemed to be stationary, but if you looked 15 minutes later, everything was changing. So the ship was constantly maneuvering. We went ashore here at Danko Island. You can see the location of the colonies. We had wonderful views and interactions a little bit with the Gentoo penguins. And then how many of you were able to climb all the way to the top? How many? Let me see. Great. Tomorrow morning you will not be able to get out of bed, but for now that is great. And you had views of the Arara Channel, of the peninsula, looking out to the Gerlache, so that was very nice. And then we came down and we made our departure. We had 20 kayakers this morning, not in this group, I think, but congratulations to kayakers, and we had kayakers go out in the afternoon. So after we departed the climb was difficult here, but the landing was easy and the paths were fine. Now, it was a different situation at Cooverville, because the captain did bring the ship here, and that was nice, and we got in to make our landing, and we came around here. Remember, the landing site that we wanted to do is right here. That is the correct landing site. But we got to here, and it was completely covered in icebergs, bergy bits, impassable. What are we going to do? Well, we didn't know. So very quickly, we tried to come around. There was a lot of rock here, very flat. We landed. We tried to make steps. That was not easy, but we were able to make steps, and we got the group up to at least view the whole area. You got to see the penguins. The view was beautiful. I didn't get there. Was the view beautiful? Yes. No. Okay, the staff thinks the view is beautiful. and then we saw some Weddell seals on ice. It was a shorter visit because I was worried about the tide coming in. And sure enough, when the French group was there, at the very end, all the beach was gone. And everybody was standing in the water thinking, are the boats going to come? It's true. It's absolutely true. And we finally got everybody off and got them back to the ship. And we had an adventure at Cooverville Island. So that was for the afternoon. Let's talk about tonight and tomorrow. So the ship has gone around. Oh, yeah. The ship has gone around, and we're now out in the Gerlache Strait. And we're going to travel over to this area right here tonight. Let me show you. We'll be coming down here. This is an area we'll want to keep our eyes open for whales, probably humpback whales, maybe something else, but possibly. And we'll come down slowly, and we're going to go into this passage tonight at 8:30. And this is called the Neumayer Channel. It's between the very large Anvers Island and the large, but not as large, Vinca Island. And it's a very nice passage. The captain wants to go down this tonight because he would rather do it tonight than early in the morning. Where we would like to get to is this place right here, and that is called Dorian Bay. And that would be our visit tomorrow early. So let me show you again. Neumayer Channel. We should enter about 8:30 tonight. We'll sail down. Our destination, we'll just stay here, but tomorrow morning at Darien Bay. This will go in closer. Okay. Oh, a little bit too close. Well, yes, you see, what are these? Penguin colonies. Gentoos. Not as numerous, not as many penguins here as at other places. The ship will stay out here, and the boats come in this very shallow bay. There are two historic buildings here. Small, very small historic buildings. Because this area here was a runway, was an ice or snow runway for planes, for British Antarctic Survey planes that flew down from Deception Island. They would land on the ridge here. The pilots would sleep to get some rest in this cold, unheated little hut. And then they would get back in their airplanes and fly further south to Rothera Station. So this has a little bit of the history of Antarctic exploration in the mid-20th, and actually up to the 1970s, I believe, in this area. We cannot really go, well, we may see if we can go inside this small hut. It's smaller than the stage, but it's picturesque. If we can land tomorrow, it starts at 8 o'clock. Check the daily program. It's about 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's more than enough time to see here. We hope that we can get up on the snow. The snow can be very deep. And we'll see. We don't have the answers to what exactly the conditions will be because we don't know. It changes all the time. There could be other snowstorms. We will go and investigate. We hope we can get up to the hut. Maybe we visit one of the colonies. And then maybe we come up for a view from the top of the ridge. If we get here at the ridge, do not go beyond the flags, because on this side, it looks like it's safe, but it will crumble and we won't see you again. So we want to respect the limit that we set up here. Does anybody see this shadow here? Oh. I asked for that. Okay, this shadow here, let's go in just a little bit. It's amazing what you find on Google Earth sometimes. This picture, oh, come on. Oh, just once, yeah. I'm impatient. You know, the audience is telling me, that's great. Okay. Oh, sorry. So look at this. This is the shadow of a mast on a boat. And the boat is in the ice. And this boat may stay there for the whole winter. It's not there now. But sometimes people have come here, they put their boat in the ice, and they stay frozen there for the whole winter because they want to be adventurers. And we see that here on this picture. That will not be there tomorrow, we hope. So this is what we would like to do in the morning. We start at 8 o'clock, an hour and 15 minutes, and then we want to be gone by 11 o'clock. Why do we want to be gone by? Oh, let me show you one last thing. What is in the neighborhood? Just next to Darien Bay, pull back a little bit here, I think. Just south of Darien Bay is a rather famous place. This is called Port Lockroy. On this island, there is a small museum and a post office that is run by the British government. We don't visit it. They don't want visitors this year in the post office, but we will have later in the program the ability for you to send postcards, and we will deliver them to Port Lockroy, and then we'll figure this out. Don't worry, Maria. She's looking at me shocked. But we will give you more information later on that. But this is the very small island in which one of these huts acts as the post office, the southernmost post office of the British in the world, here at Port Lockroy. If we are able to hike up, we get a view down on Port Lockeray, so it's quite nice. And we can sometimes see beautiful mountains as the backdrop. So that should be our morning at Doreen Bay. Back on the ship at about 11 o'clock, we are going to sail back up the Neumayer Channel. And we have about 3 to 4 hours of sailing because the captain can only go 10 miles an hour, 10 knots. And we're going to sail across to this very large bay called Anvoord Bay. And we want to go to a special place in Anvoord Bay right here. Now this picture shows you ice. We're not going to have, we hope, we better not, have this ice tomorrow. But do you see these glaciers? Everywhere is a glacier. All these glaciers coming down. So Anvoord Bay is surrounded by ice. And there's only one small place here where you can actually land on the peninsula. And this place is called Nico Harbor. Let me go in a little closer at Nico Harbor. You'll see there are 2 glaciers, one here, coming down. You'll see that there is a beach, and we want to visit that beach if we can. Hopefully the ice will let us get there. You can see some coloration. Yes, there are gentoo penguins. And tomorrow when we're on the beach, this is very important. Let me show you a more seasonal picture of this beach. Give me a second. It will come in a little closer, and then it will disappear. But yep, okay. That is more like it will look like tomorrow, we hope. We will see there's a rocky beach. There are penguin colonies. There's a little bit of a climb up this hill. And we'll spend only about 1 hour and 10 minutes, but it's an opportunity to land on the peninsula. Now this is very important. If we are standing at the landing site, sometimes, not every time, these glaciers will calve. They will drop icebergs suddenly into the bay. What happens when a big piece of ice falls? You see a small wave, nothing to worry about, coming across. But when it gets to the beach, that small wave becomes a small tsunami. Sometimes we're standing there and people are looking and they're like, oh, that's so beautiful. And the penguins are running uphill. The penguins know better than we do. So if it happens, really, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but with some ships, they've had very serious things happen here because they don't take it, because it wasn't taken seriously. So if there is a big calving, we get up quickly away from the landing site. The boats leave quickly and we'll be fine. Again, it doesn't look like much when it's out there, but when it gets to the shore, it's shallow, it gets bigger. So we hope to make this in the afternoon, about 3:30 to maybe even 6:30. It's going to be a little bit late tomorrow, but I really would love to land at Nico Harbor. The morning will be breezy at Doreen Bay, but I think we'll be able to do it. And the afternoon should be calm, and I think even a little bit of sun. I think, in the afternoon. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, we're going to head south. Okay, I won't go in further here. I will just say tomorrow evening we'll be heading south towards the Lemaire Channel. The next day will be our southernmost point on our expedition. Okay, that's my briefing for tomorrow. Let's start with recap. I can answer a question as they get set up.